Author Elizabeth Gilbert is best known for her wildly popular book, Eat, Pray, Love. The travel memoir took readers through 3 countries, selling more than 10 million copies worldwide. Her book spent more than 3.5 years on the New York Times bestseller list. In 2010, Eat, Pray, Love was adapted for the big screen with Oscar winner Julia Roberts playing Gilbert. This morning, Liz Gilbert is here with her new book, Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear. Liz, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I've loved all your books, so very excited about this one too. Explain to everybody what Big Magic is.
Big Magic is what I call that moment of intersection between your efforts, a human being efforts, and the mysteries of inspiration, where suddenly you're making something and then you look down and you see something that you made and you think, I don't even really know how that happened. I did the work, but there was some extra fairy dust in it somewhere. And I feel like that's the essence of creativity, and it's our shared human inheritance, and I kind of want to open up the conversation to encouraging more people to engage with creativity.
And is there a way you can make it happen?
Yeah, well, what you have to do is follow your curiosity, because your curiosity, I think, is the channel through which the breadcrumbs of inspiration come. I think everyone's looking for the big tower of flame that will give them their passion or their vocation, but it's actually a smaller hunt than that. And that's one of the things I explore in the book.
You actually say that curiosity is the secret and the truth to creative living, but most people are afraid of creativity. They're afraid because all daunting ideas, you say, are really scary at first. All good ideas are daunting at first.
Yeah, if you're going to engage in creative living of any kind, you're going to have to learn how to deal with your fear, because creativity asks you to enter into realms with uncertain outcome, and your fear hates realms with uncertain outcome. But what I see happening is people want to create a safe life for themselves, so they try to live a life with no fear, and they end up killing their creativity in the process.
Creativity can happen anywhere, at any place, by anyone.
Yeah.
But I did an interview in Russia this weekend with the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and I said, what do you admire most about Americans? He said their creativity and their innovation.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, it is a country that gives a lot of permission for people to explore and examine things, but I feel like a lot of people have been left out of that. There's something that happens in the schools, I think, very early on, where a couple kids are singled out as being the creative ones, and everyone else is kind of shunted away to just sort of live lives where they're nothing but consumers, and they're producing, and they just pay bills and die. And I feel like that's not really what we're here for. Unused creativity is not benign.
So how do you nurture your creativity every day? You talk about your friend Susan in the book.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite stories in the book. I have a friend who, when she hit her 40s, was just feeling drab and plain and bored. And she asked herself, when was the last time she felt really free and alive in her body? And it turned out it was when she was a teenager figure skating. But she had quit figure skating as a teenager because she wasn't good enough to be a champion. And we do live in a culture that says, if you can't be the best, don't do it. So she didn't skate for 25 years, and then she just decided to take it up again and didn't quit her job, didn't hire an Olympic coach, didn't move to Toronto, didn't win any medals, but gave back permission to herself to live in a way that made her feel like she was unfolding and becoming, and more than just an accumulation of her daily obligations.
So Liz, this is interesting, because you said if you want to write a book, do it. Direct a movie, do it. Dance, do it. If you want to draw penises on the wall, do it. Which made me wonder what's going on in your life, Missy. I was thinking, penises on the wall.
That's my next book,
Gail. It made me wonder why you're saying that.
Yes, it did make me wonder that, Charlie. But when you were first starting, a professor said to you, you will never be a great writer because you haven't suffered a lot. And you talk about a writer in the book who sort of went through that same thing.
Well, one of the things I'm also trying to take apart here is I'm trying to dismantle the stereotype that in order to live any kind of a creative life, you have to be in torment and suffering. We're really addicted to this idea because it makes for good biopics, but I actually believe it is possible, in fact better, to live a life where you're constantly exploring your curiosity and your creativity, and you're not married to this idea that you have to be a martyr about it.
You also talk about moving beyond fear.
Yeah. Not fearlessness, because fearlessness is something I don't advocate for. I have actually met a few people in my life who I would genuinely describe as being fearless, and they were psychopaths. You look in their eyes and there's something something dead, right? Or toddlers, right? And we don't want to model ourselves
You
after.
said there's a difference between bravery and fearlessness.
Yes, fearlessness means not even knowing what fear is.
To move beyond, you must know it.
Bravery is saying, this is really scary, but I want to do it anyway because the alternative is a smaller, less interesting life, and I want to have the biggest, most interesting life I can have. So fear and I have to walk arm in arm. Yeah.
It was a really good read.
Thank you.
Lots of little nuggets, Liz Gilbert, as always. I can hear your voice in my head. And it's called Big Magic. It goes on sale today.